podcast show for business owners and managers who are passionate about developing people and growing a successful business. And now here's your host, Alistair Booth, from the HR Booth.
Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we are going to be speaking about employee benefits. So as you know, we work with a lot of SME businesses across the country, and one of the challenges a lot of SME businesses have is around attractive employee benefits that not only help retain talent, but attract talent into a business. And I think there is a bit of a misconception that a good employee benefits package would cost a fortune and it's perhaps out of reach for a lot of SME businesses. But, that isn't necessarily the case. And I think there is a bit of a misconception around that. SME businesses, in the main can offer different employee benefits that would help them attract and retain talent in their business and to a certain extent compete with a lot of the big corporate organisations. Now, most big organisations will offer things like kind of private healthcare and life assurance, and that's certainly something that SME businesses can do. We've done that successfully with a lot of our clients, and normally it's done via a broker, which allows the client to kind of get the best possible deal. And we've helped a lot of clients kind of do that, and it's also something that we've been able to put in place for some of the team at the HR booth. And what these schemes allow you to do is kind of just to look to see what's on the market. So there might be private healthcare for individuals, there might be private healthcare for family members, and there might be kind of different levels of private healthcare available. And then the same with life assurance, you could do something like kind of 2 times death in service, 3 times death in service, or 4 times the kind of salary. So depending on what you need. So private healthcare and life assurance is definitely one of the kind of main employee benefits that's out there, and we have seen SME businesses offering that as a benefit to their employees. Other ones that are really well received are things like an employee assistance program, or an EAP as it's referred to, where that gives your employees access to a 24-hour confidential private helpline. It's a kind of counselling service, so it allows employees to kind of tap into that at any time of the day. And if it's something a little bit more serious, then there's also the option for face-to-face appointments, and that's included as part of the investment. Now, I say an investment because an employee assistance program, in my view, shouldn't really be seen as a cost to a business. That investment is well worth it, and you'd actually be surprised at what that investment would cost the business. It can be as little as under £2 per month per employee, and it covers a range of things around helping employees through bereavement. There might be kind of financial problems. It could be counselling around kind of marital kind of problems, mental health issues, a whole range of different things that 24-hour helpline would give advice on. And if that can actually help one of your individual employees stay at work or not take as long off work as what it might have done in the past, then that investment is certainly kind of worthwhile. And we've seen great feedback from some of our clients using employee assistance programs, and there's loads of kind of associated benefits with doing that. The one that we use for the HR booth is with a company called BHSF, and I'll happily put notes in the show notes around that, and a link to their website. But there are a range of other kind of providers out there, but that's certainly one that we've used at the HR booth and found that to be really valuable. And we know that some of our clients have also used that same provider, and feedback has been really positive. So happy to kind of recommend that as an employee assistance program. Other benefits that you want to perhaps consider that you could offer to your employees. Again, this is something that we did kind of last year, just probably before the cost of living crisis really started to kind of make headline news, as we're kind of heading into the autumn last year. So we partnered with a company called Caboodle, and again, I'll put their details in the show notes. And what they allow our employees to do is to access a range of discounts on, everyday kind of shopping. So that includes, if you're in your kind of local supermarket, you can get a discount buying the weekly groceries. You can get a discount on buying fuel. You can get discount and loads of kind of restaurants and cafes. I know most of our team kind of download the Starbucks app, and I think they save quite a few quid every month on that. So something they're going to be buying today, they get a discount on that. It covers lots of gyms, so a lot of the kind of local gyms are on there, and some of the kind of big nationals that you'll find as well. So it does kind of provide nationwide kind of cover. So it allows you to kind of look after people's kind of well-being as well. And there's loads of things, even overseas kind of things. My wife and I, we went to Berlin for a weekend trip last year, and we were able to kind of buy the hop on, hop off kind of bus tickets in Berlin via the Caboodle app, and I think we made quite a good saving on that as well. So there's loads of things that it can help save money for your employees, and there's other kind of providers out there as well. So we've seen Perkwalks in the past, so again I'll put their details in the show notes, and that's something that's pretty well received. So there's things like that, online kind of discounts that you can give to your team members, and it saves you having to negotiate these deals with local companies. So as I said, there's a local and kind of national presence on there, and I know people have kind of used it to go to things like Alton Towers or weekends in Blackpool and stuff like that, family attractions where your team members are going to be spending that money anyway, but where they've got an is that they can actually save money through working with yourself, if that's a benefit that you've got in place. So these experiences are certainly something that will be very well remembered. I suppose the other big one that you can put in place that doesn't cost a lot of money is just flexibility. So kind of flexible kind of working hours. That's not something that will necessarily cost the business anything financially, and what that can allow you to do is by offering a flexible working arrangement, or even kind of remote working if required, allows you to attract good people into the business and retain them. People are looking for a kind of more work-life balance type role, and I think things like kind of whether it's compressed hours or flexible working arrangements will certainly kind of help you stand out from some of your competition, because if you're doing it and your competition aren't, then the more likelihood for people to stay and join your business if it's something that you can offer. So definitely kind of recommend looking at flexible working. A benefit that we kind of launched a while ago, and we kind of formalised it a little bit more recently, is what's called Moments That Matter. So we've got that within our employee handbook, and what that allows our employees to do is to kind of take time off for moments that do matter, and get paid for that. So a good example might be things like child might be starting the first day at school, so the employee can kind of take that day off to make sure they have that experience with their child on the first day at school. And then obviously that might be quite an emotional day, so they can then take some time off during the day to go and grab a coffee, or go and do whatever they want to do, just to get some time on their own or with a loved one. And the Moments That Matter also cover things like for children or grandchildren or nieces and nephews and that type of thing. So covers things like time off for school nativity play, it might be school sports day, or it might just be other things that are what we class as kind of moments that matter. So that doesn't necessarily to be your own child. It could be a kind of family relative or something that's really important to you outside the children. So don't necessarily have to think that has to be something related to kind of family. So Moments That Matter, and that's been really well received in our organisation, and I know that some of our clients will try and encourage them to do something similar, and that's something that if you can offer that as a type of benefit, then it is well received by your team. Other things that you can put in place that don't have to cost a lot of money are things like kind of wellness initiatives. So again, through the Caboodle app that we use that I've mentioned, that gives you access to discounts in various gyms, for example. But again, there might be other things that you could offer around, perhaps companies coming on site, doing things on wellness challenges, maybe virtual fitness classes, yoga, whatever it might be. There is this kind of phrase, a healthier workforce is a kind of happier and focused one. So other benefits that people kind of look for, opportunity to kind of learn and grow. So that's you as a business investing in people's professional development. So whether that's access to online courses, workshops, budgets for attending industry recognized conferences, where people see there's a commitment to their kind of growth, they're going to be more likely to kind of stay with you. So look at what kind of growth opportunities and learning opportunities you can provide, and there might also be some funding available for some of these courses as well. So certainly within Scotland, There's the Flexible Workforce Development Fund, which gives SME businesses up to £5,000 towards professional qualifications. So that could be a mixture of 1 or 2 people doing one course, or it could be 10 or 12 people doing kind of other courses that are perhaps a little bit more kind of cost effective. So have a look at that within your own business, and there's other funding that's available. So where we've got sight of that funding, we certainly kind of share that with our clients. So yeah, definitely have a look at the learning and growth opportunities that you can offer as a benefit. And other ones that you can do quite easily is just kind of celebrating milestones. So that might be work anniversaries. We launched an initiative last year where employees get their birthday off, and if the birthday falls on a weekend, then they just agree with the manager whether to take that day off on a Friday or a Monday, and that's been well received as well. But you might also just want to look at things like personal milestones. So that might be people's anniversaries. It could be a work anniversary, and just kind of recognising that, so it doesn't have to be a kind of monetary value attached to that, or perhaps a day off. Is up to you to decide what that kind of looks like. And then the last one I wanted to touch on was just kind of things like diversity and inclusion initiatives. So again, you could look at lunch and learn opportunities. You could be looking at different people coming in to do different talks in the workforce. Some of that could be online, some of that could be in person, but just looking at different kind of diversity and different inclusion opportunities within your business. And again, these are things that are pretty well received by your employees. But remember, there's different employee benefits that might suit different businesses. So, there isn't a kind of one size fits all. So if you are looking at different employee benefits within your business, a good way to explore that further is to kind of ask your teams what kind of benefits they'd like to see. You can cover that through things like employee engagement surveys, focus groups, listening groups, and also kind of capturing feedback from anybody that's leaving the business as part of an exit interview process, where we practice to find out, one, the reasons for leaving, but also what the benefits are of the company they're moving to, just to allow you to do a little bit of kind of benchmarking internally as well. So that's something that we would always look at. So if you're looking for more advice on different benefits to put in place into your business, happy to kind of take any questions on that. You can reach out to me via the website, which is www.thehrbooth.co.uk, or via email at info@thehrbooth.co.uk. Thanks for tuning into this latest episode, and we will be back again soon with more advice on other HR related topics.